Hey there! So you're in Roswell and on the hunt for a great dog trainer? Well, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to walk through everything you need to know to find the perfect one for you and your pup.
All right, here's what we're covering. We'll talk about training specifically for life here in Roswell. Then we'll get into the different methods and programs, what you can expect to pay, how to actually pick a trainer, and finally, we'll wrap up with some local rules and resources. Sound good? Okay, first up, training for your Roswell life. You know how it is here. One minute you're on a packed Canton street, the next you're trying to have a peaceful walk by the river. Having a dog that can handle both of those situations, well, that just makes everything so much better for everyone.
Right. So this is the goal, isn't it? We want a dog that's not just doing tricks in the living room. We want a dog who can walk nicely through Waller Park, who doesn't lose their mind at Hembry, and who can chill out even when Riverside Park is buzzing with people. It's all about those real-life skills.
All right, section 2. Let's talk about the different ways you can actually do the training. You've got options when it comes to methods and formats, and knowing what's out there is going to help you make a much better decision. So the big one you're going to hear about is positive reinforcement. And really, it's pretty much what it sounds like. When your dog does something you like, you reward them with a treat, with praise, whatever they love. It's not just about getting them to sit. It's about building a great relationship and making learning feel like a fun game, not a chore. So how does this all happen? Well, you've basically got two main flavors. You've got group classes, which are awesome for getting your dog used to other dogs and people around, practicing that focus. Then there are private sessions. These are perfect when you have a really specific thing you want to work on. Like, say your dog goes crazy when the doorbell rings, or they pull like crazy on your specific street. And this is really the bottom line, isn't it? The way you train matters a lot. If you talk to a trainer and they start mentioning things that rely on fear or pain, that's a huge red flag. Humane, positive methods are just flat out more effective in the long run. Plus, they lead to a happier dog and, let's be honest, happier neighbors too. Okay, let's talk money. What can you actually expect to budget for dog training here in Roswell? Knowing the numbers up front can help you plan. Just to give you a ballpark idea, for a single one-on-one private lesson, you're probably looking at somewhere in the range of $125 to $200. That's for about an hour to an hour and a half of the trainer's time. All right, here's a broader look. As you can see, a group class for puppies or basic obedience, which usually runs for a few weeks, is going to be pretty affordable. Package deals for private in-home training can save you some money overpaying per session. And then at the top end, you have board and train programs, which, are a much bigger investment because they're super intensive. Okay, so we know the methods, and we've talked about the costs. Now for the really important part. How do you actually choose a trainer? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of finding that perfect fit. And it can feel like a lot. You start searching online, and there are just so many names. So, how do you sort through all of them and find the one that's truly right for you and your dog? Don't worry, we're about to lay out a simple plan. First thing to look for, those confusing letters after a trainer's name. What do they even mean? Well, something like a CPDTKA means they've actually passed a test on modern training techniques. If your dog has bigger struggles, maybe with fear or anxiety, then seeing credentials from a group like the IAABC is a really good sign. Basically, these certifications show that a trainer takes their education seriously. All right, get your notepad ready. When you're interviewing a trainer, here's what you need to ask. Number 1, what are your methods? 2, what are your credentials? 3, how are you going to tailor this for my dog and my life? Also, make sure you ask how you'll track progress, get all the costs up front, and definitely ask if they do a free evaluation. That first meeting is a great way to see if you even click with them. And finally, let's bring it all back home to Roswell. Because once you're learning these new skills, you need to know the local rules and the best spots to go practice. This is how you make the training stick in the real world. Okay, a few quick but important local rules. You gotta have your dog on a leash pretty much everywhere in public, unless you're at a dog park. The standard 6-foot leash is perfect. Also, your dog needs to have a current rabies vaccination. That's state law. And hey, just being a good neighbor, a dog that barks nonstop can be a problem, which, by the way, is something a good trainer can absolutely help you with. So where do you go to practice all this stuff? We've got some great places right here in Roswell. The dog parks at Roswell Area Park and East Roswell are awesome for practicing recalls in a safe spot. And if you want to work on that loose leash walking with real-world distractions, oh man, the Chattahoochee River Trails or the Big Creek Greenway are perfect for that. So, there you have it. You're ready, right? Ready to build that amazing bond with your dog and really just enjoy everything Roswell has to offer together. Finding the right trainer really is step one to having a happier, more confident dog, and honestly, a much less stressed out you. Good luck with your search. I hope you and your dog have a blast enjoying your life together here, at home, out with your neighbors, and on all those amazing local trails.